The definition of ghosting is the practice of ending a personal relationship with someone suddenly and without any explanation, withdrawing from all communication and cutting ties.
If someone is ghosting in a passive-aggressive power move, it's a control tactic. Oh, and by the way, people love to do this as a form of punishment. You're probably already familiar with the silent treatment or stonewalling. For those of you that don't know, stonewalling is when you cut yourself off or become emotionally unavailable or walk out of the room in a way that cuts you off from the other person, makes you unavailable or unreachable to them, kind of like erecting a stone wall between yourself and them. When ghosting is used in this way, it's a form of emotional cruelty. And it's one of the most destructive relationship habits we can do. As much as you may hate to see this, a relationship takes two. It's about connection. That means the person who holds the power in a relationship is the person who can disconnect, the person who refuses to maintain the connection. We also know how painful emotional withdrawal is at our core. We know how vulnerable it makes the other person. So if we feel pushed into a corner, especially if we feel victimized by the other person, we tend to not have any qualms about using emotionally abusive tactics. No matter what the motive is behind ghosting, no matter whether it's conscious or unconscious, ghosting creates psychological and emotional wounds. So why is ghosting so painful? Well, first and foremost, emotional withdrawal is a form of abandonment, and this is a very serious thing when it comes to people. Why? Because as a human, you are a relationally dependent species. You're a group species. Connection is in fact a greater need for you as a physical human than food or water, which is why when you have an intensely bad breakup, how easy is it for you to eat and sleep? Connection is such an important need. And when somebody withdraws like this, when somebody ghosts you, it's a threat to your most basic fundamental need. On top of this, in case you haven't noticed, people have to assign meaning to experiences. We have to understand the meaning behind things, why they happened, in order to put reason to anything, in order to know what to do about it. If no explanation is given, people become consumed in a dizzying mess of potential explanations and tend to vacillate between confusion and choosing whatever painful meaning is the most believable to them. Lack of closure drives people crazy. Do they not care? It is the meaning that we assign to experiences, especially ghosting, that has the capacity to do so much damage long term. When someone ghosts us, we go from feeling like someone cared about us to feeling like they don't care about us at all. This causes immediate humiliation. It calls into question how real a relationship even was. It causes us to negatively question and doubt ourselves. We feel disrespected and disposable, and therefore it registers in our being as a rejection and as betrayal. And guess what? You can even look to science for this one. Social rejection registers within the physical body the same way that physical pain does, only it's worse. Why? Because when you're experiencing physical pain, you don't have the added layer of all those painful, horrible, and also untrue stories you might be telling about yourself. Whenever we get rejected, we go to work trying to figure out what is bad and what is wrong about us so we can try to fix it somehow so we can guarantee connection in the future. Deep down, we take the blame for someone ghosting us. Here's the other thing, and this might actually be, for your own awareness, the single thing which makes it the most difficult to get over being ghosted. And that is this. Ghosting makes you feel completely out of control and completely dysregulated. Because if you don't even know what happened, you don't even know how to react or respond. For example, let's imagine that the truth as to why somebody just ghosted you, for them, is that somebody triangulated against you. So they were triangulated. If you knew that was the reason, then a typical response might be something like confronting the person doing the triangulating and confronting the person who has listened to the triangulation. However, let's imagine that the reason somebody ghosted you is because there was a death in the family, and all of a sudden this person finds themselves in an emotional hell spiral so bad they just can't reach out to other people in their life. If you knew that was the reason, it would be a totally different reaction, wouldn't it? Something like, okay, well, it really hurts, but I'm here for you whenever you need, or if you need me. Two totally different reactions based off of the information you would receive as to why someone's ghosting you. Without that information, talk about uncertainty. This is what makes ghosting so hard to resolve. Without any information or explanation or reason given, it becomes very, very hard to emotionally process what happened and the trauma of the emotional abandonment so as to feel resolved and create closure.